All right, good evening, everybody. As we come back here to the NSR Cup Series in the Gen 4 cars, this is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here from SimTraX Broadcasting on this fine Saturday night. We are currently looking at Russ Bovair out there in the number 16 Chevrolet. He's trying to knock down a couple more laps out there to see what he can do with some sort of times, as qualifying is coming to an end here quite soon. But we are here in Atlanta, Georgia, where it is normally hot out there, and the track will be very touchy for a lot of drivers, and especially the ones who have been practicing the most here tonight. A lot of guys have really been on edge whether they are going to make sure this car sticks to the track. 900 horsepower, what these cars are looking at, and it's going to be pretty tough out there to see them become a force to be reckoned with when you have so many other guys that are pressing on to see what they can do to do just that. Sliding around the track, that is a must, and I guarantee you, I talked to a couple of drivers out there, and the biggest modification that needed to be made to these cars is that drive shaft pinion pre-torque, because we've got guys sliding out of fourth and slamming up into the wall, so we are praying nothing like that is going to happen, especially for some of our other drivers out there. And what can they do with the sway bar? And Stella, we take a look at how these guys are going to be driving out here and how that's going to be weighing back and forth. It's going to be tough, depending on how they picked to build their setup tonight, seeing that this is an open setup league.
Yeah, well, I'm sure hoping they're not going to be using that medevac helicopter personally, but they're definitely allowed to come into the media center you see down there by the big fountain.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 127 laps of what we got locked up for you guys. Always 100% fuel, and 3 sets of tires will be hanging out down there in pit road. Of course, there's no fast repair, open setup, so you're going to find out who is set it up, who's practiced, and who hasn't. So that's going to be pretty tough here, as that track, 82-degree temperature. Boy, I think some of these guys would love to see it around the high 90s, but that may not be their choice tonight. I don't know if this track will heat up quite enough here for the Bass Pro Shops MBNA. Brought to you by Track Day for Veterans by Fubar Studios. Let's go ahead and get to our starting grid here for tonight, as this is going to be a long one and pretty tough out there for a lot of our guys who want to make sure they get into the running, into the chase, and into the points soon. So, Stella, we'll let you do the second half of this one, as Nathan Landwehr sits in the number 1 spot, and Johnny Avila will be starting in second. Moving on to Mark Sikosi, who sits third, and Stoney Benfield. Stoney out there in the in the NC811 car, as he's currently sitting in fourth. Moving on to Justin Cope, fifth. Devin Lockridge is sixth. A lot of big names you see here with the NSR guys. The usuals, I would say more of the admin team, looks like they are conquering up front in the top 5. Moving on, Jacob Kaplan, who sits 7th. Jeffrey Hyatt is 8th. Jason Crumley, not bad. He's up there in his own little chat. Unfortunately, no teammates out there in the Chevy crew. So the 88 machine will be running by himself next to Jaron Bagoon, who starts on the outside of row number 5. Jeremy Queener is 11th, and Jason Ledford. Moving on in that 12th spot, we'll finish out the rest of this field. Stella, take it away.
You bet. In 13th is Kyle Hubbard in the 02 car. On the outside is Brian Wiggins in the 5. In the 8th row, you've got Johnny Taylor in the 3 and Russ Bovair in the 16. Shane Wielden brings up the inside lane in row 9 with Clint Mata. And Douglas Macedo is in 19th, followed by John Russo in the 59 car. Andy Reeves is going to be driving his 29 car tonight in the 11th row, and on his outside, last but not least, is Tyler Probst in the 19.
Worst case scenario, John Russo, Andy Reeves, and Tyler out there in the 19, all Indian 9s, 59, 29, and the 19, have not gotten behind the wheel here tonight. So we'll kind of sit on the edge of our seat and see if they're going to get a late start here to tonight, and that may be pretty rough out there for them. Would like to welcome back Johnny Taylor out there in the number 3 Chevrolet. He's got a tall order here as he is sitting in the Dale Earnhardt machine. Let's go ahead and get this one underway, as we are already sending it straight into the wall. Devin Lockridge looks like he got dumped here. Somebody launched off that turn and put him immediately into the wall. Stella, terrible start here to the race.
Oh, yes. I'm not sure the entire field even made it past the start-finish line before we had our first kerfuffle.
What was that? It looked like the number 6 went to get going, and I don't know if he had a wheel spin, but ended up getting rear-ended, and the back end of the car picked up and slammed him into the wall. So, tough night here for Devin Lockridge. I know he just ended up getting in here and getting into Roush Racing there with Jared Magoon, the 84 machine. His teammate is doing a little better during this one, as he's going to be in some rough shape here. Let's take a look, as I believe Johnny Taylor has also taken it down to the pit. The number 3 car is totaled, didn't even make the first lap.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't just Lockridge that was involved in that. We had at least 3-4 cars getting kind of beat up and banged around.
Boy, I don't know about you. That just takes the wind right out of your sails here. Once you start wrecking like this. Green flag. Oh, and he spins out.
Yeah, there's 4 other ones to get it right there. My goodness. Yeah, with no fast repairs in this league, that puts an early evening to several of these fellas.
What ended up happening?
He basically took a sharp right.
I'm just trying to understand the acceleration here. What does he do? Sounds like he starts in first. He starts in first gear, and when it gets to the top, it's too much wheel spin. The tires are cold. Yeah, you can't do that. Okay. Well, that's what ended up happening. And what you end up seeing is a lot of the guys, if you do decide to shift, or, excuse me, should I start at the beginning of the sentence here, Patrick? If you decide to start in first, you have to short shift. You've got to drop it down into second to get those to keep the wheel spin under control. And what ended up happening is we didn't short shift it here. He should have shifted around 7,000 RPMs. He got up around 8, and that thing started to spin on him. Just too many RPMs, and ended up sending him the way around. So, horrible start for a lot of these guys here tonight. Already, Johnny Taylor. That's 3 minutes in the box for him as they try to put that number 3 back together. Brian Wiggins out there in the number 5, as he is definitely dealing with a boatload of damage out there as well. I'll tell you what, that has just absolutely got to be devastating for teams who have been out here so early. And I don't know there, Stella, if we take a look, is the right front wheel boy, that thing looks cocked in there. I don't know if he's going to be able to return to the race.
I don't know if it's the wheel or just the door and the fender around it.
Yeah, that thing still looks cocked to the side here. As that is Jason Ledford's number 20 Home Depot machine. See if we can find somebody else. That should be straight. Alrighty. Well, what do we say we try this again? Re-rack them.
Woosah.
Yeah, well, Doug Macedo right now up to 9th. And we dumped it again.
And
Jeremy Queener's the next one around.
all right.
I would say here, Stella, these are some elementary mistakes here. And I think this may be frustrating for some of the other guys out there who've practiced a lot here this week.
Yeah, that's very weird. He had actually just come down on lap 3. Not quite for what, just took a short splash and go. But yeah, I don't know what would cause him to take the loop.
Well, that's what I was. That's the only way I can describe it. These are fundamental mistakes we're seeing here, and I'm assuming that these guys have been in the car all week, so this shouldn't be anything different. It seems a little confusing here as to how many guys are ended up spinning out so early into this race. I mean, we haven't made it to turn 1, not under caution.
No.
And it's a little silly here to see this happening, because right now, Johnny Avila out there right now, he's leading leading the race, and they're not has yet to even be challenged yet. So we're I don't know. It kind of.
Right now, he's in the safest place I can imagine.
I would think, but if he sidesteps it here, I'm just wondering if there's something up with the track, because in the same spot out there, we've got guys spinning out, and I question as to why. Why right at the start? You know, are they gonna? You wouldn't think they'd have to hold some hands out there and say, hey, you know, we really need to have a class on put it in second and then go. I mean.
I don't know. Maybe they practice on going fast, but not getting going fast.
Yeah, well, this definitely makes it tough for us here in the booth, because we're a little confused of what in the world is going on out here. Should be pretty bad when Devin Lockridge is knocking down his fastest lap here of the race at a 36.75.
Wondered if you saw that.
Yeah, I'm looking over here at our information center, and that's kind of what it's telling us here. And this is pretty rough here. Okay, Doggy, appreciate you joining us out here. I know you have raced at Atlanta, whether you've raced here in the Gen 4s, but we'll go ahead and we'll ask you out there in the chat, how difficult is it to take off on this track? We've got 2 spin outs here, bringing out 2 cautions here immediately in the first 10 laps. We haven't broken past 5 laps before we're back under our second caution. And it looks like guys are starting in first gear. Once they get going, it ends up sidestepping it and stepping the car out to the side and causing a huge problem out there. And it seems some of these guys are not having a great night. Stella, right now, am I currently showing Doug without a number out there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, well, I know he ended up saying he was coming to the race a little bit late. I didn't think his painter was coming a little bit late. So apparently they forgot what number they were, so hopefully he'll be squared away by next race. But that's fine.
Well, maybe he'll get squared away if we have another caution.
Well, yeah.
Slap a 0 on that thing and roll.
Yeah. Alrighty, pace car lights are out. We'll try to get the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500 kick back off here. Remember I said we're only doing 127 laps. 7 under caution so far. Let's see if we can do 120 under green. By holding their breath. Wait for it. Right now, yep. Douglas is rolling backwards here. I wonder if he's concerned. Ouch, into the wall.
He was on the wall during pace lap.
Yeah, I was hoping he's not having a mechanical problem out there, as he is in some trouble. All right. Hey, looks like we're going to be able to get this rolling now. I think now that everybody's in a straight line, everybody should be good to go. And it looks like Nathan Landwehr is going to go ahead and take his lead back originally where he started this race, but after a little tangle up there, he's going to get back in the lead, and him and Avila are going to go for it. I am saying that right this time, right, Stella?
No.
Avila. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, that's what K-Doggy's saying. So it's safer to start in second and start in lower gear. You don't get that good of a, that good of a jump here. But you start in first and short shift, or we start in second and we're able to ride it out and guarantee traction. So, it's all right. Low learning curve. Lap number 11 is going to go ahead and stay under green here. Fantastic. Excellent job here. Mark Sikosi, he was saying a lot of the setup here, he was actually leaning toward maybe more of a sway bar issues is what he was running to out here. A lot of the guys are running a softer spring setup. Some are running a tougher spring setup. But man, oh man, look at that. As he flies around the outside there, no problem. Almost gets doored a little bit there by Landwehr. And they're going to go ahead and keep going. Right now, I expect a Sikosi. Notice how he backs up that turn a little bit. Now he's going to start reeling in Avila, who's currently sitting in that number 1 spot. UPS machine trying to get away with this one. Boy, Yeah, you almost wish UPS would work that fast already, as lap number 12 is coming to an end. Right now, the 88 and the 8 heading to the line. Yes, K-Dog out there asking if it's an open setup. Yes. One of my more favorite ones out there, an open setup. Definitely, I say this is where guys show what they can tune. If they're buying setups, it's a little different, but I'd say guys like Johnny Taylor who are out there building these cars, and Mark Sikosi who's out there building them as well. You're definitely able to see different kind of racing out there. Number 75 is Stoney Benfield. Slices on around.
Yeah, he's got a pretty sharp line going there.
Landwehr out there in the Haviland car, starting to show signs of fatigue here already. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Slight little change up from the other drivers out here on the track is starting to show a problem for him. Take a look, Landwehr looking back at Justin Cope. He's out there running the Rusty Wallace Dodge number 2.
Not looking bad. He's actually in 5th where he's qualified. Everybody else is kind of doing a few loop-de-loops here and there. Our final 3 on the grid, it appears as though decided they were going to practice tonight but not race. So John Russo, Tyler Probst, and Andy Reeves have not come out of the garage.
Stella, I think they could have checked in about 10 minutes late, and they'd still only be a couple laps down from our original start. But that's all right. We'll go ahead and keep this trucking along, though. Great battle here that we are keeping an eye on. This is actually for that 4th position. Looks like Justin Cope's going to slide around the outside, grabs a hold of it, and gone. Speaking of which, at the exact same time, we move up from Cope to Sikosi. Sikosi now has the lead. But is he putting too much pressure on these tires? It's going to be tough. Remember, 3 sets of tires down in pit road. And they're going to be using every single one of them here tonight. I would be very, very surprised to see guys not have to pit at least 3 times. Stella, our fuel window is pretty short here tonight, even though it's at 100%.
Yeah, I think we're looking at 40 to 45 laps. And they will be coming down for fuel. If they decide to take tires or not will be their judgment call and maybe the make or break of their night's race.
Yeah, you can definitely see Sikosi has spent a lot of time. This car not bobbing at all as we've been looking kind of out of the driver netting here. Looking back at the 88, notice how Avila is kind of bouncing a little bit. See right there, a little bit of bouncing, getting down at that white line, but he's taking a much more aggressive turn and is costing him just ever so slightly, a couple thousandths of a second each time, and this is allowing Sikosi to get ahead a little bit. As you can see, the rubber starting to build up at the bottom of the track. Whoa, front end drifts a little bit. Therefore, Avila. So great job here by Sikosi. He's got this thing set up quite right.
It looks like it. If it's not set up right, then he knows exactly how to drive wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Sikosi is starting to change his line a little bit, though, as we see him slide down toward the bottom. He's been riding about that halfway up the track to 3/4, trying to see if he could change his line just a hair, but I'm wondering if he's also trying to break the draft here from the 88 machine, who's been reeling him in. Lapped car, whoa!
Woo. Or he was planning on what to do about that.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you the radio's lighting up now. Here he comes, look out!
Yeah, if you are not on pace, you really do need to choose a line that's out of traffic.
I don't know about you, but I almost lost my breath there. I thought we were about to see it get bad. Holy cow.
Nope. They did well.
Whew. All right, well, looks like Douglas is coming down into pits here. I don't know if he's dealing with a mechanical issue or something's wrong with that car.
Me either, because 45 miles an hour, he should have been able to come, you know, he was already going kind of slow, but you saw he locked it up before he hit the commitment cone.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. All right. K-Dog out there saying, wonder how many set up for long run rather than the short run. I'm not sure. I would assume Gen 4 cars, I would always make I would personally always make a setup for long run. As soon as these cars are not pack racing and they start separating, you're in it for the long run. All you're doing is battling yourself, battling the time out there on the track, and the track conditions as you go. But I would say short run, we had some right at the beginning. But I would say it's going to change the strategy up a little bit. That if we are looking at somewhere between 40, maybe 45 laps on fuel, that's going to be pretty tight, seeing we're coming up at 120. So let's say lap 45 they come in. Lap 90, that's going to be pretty close, depending whether they decide to take tires again or not. Contact with the wall from a couple of drivers, Justin Cope, one of them, and the number 44 in the Hot Wheels machine, Jacob Kaplan.
Man. Now, Jacob Kaplan just went down to Daytona this past weekend to watch the real races. Hopefully he's not taking any tips from Joey Logano.
No. Now, Joey Logano, he was going to push it in there whether he wanted to or not. Might end up calling him the NASCAR rapist. We'll see how he goes. Right now, as Jacob Kaplan around, he's going. And Stoney Benfield, that's Jacob Hyatt. There we go. Jason Crumley will be next, as they are coming up on some lap traffic here. Right now, I think I'm not mistaken, that is Douglas Macedo out there again, as they're catching up to him right now. Douglas currently is running at 130 miles an hour. A bit off pace here. I don't know if maybe the wrong setup was put in, which is possible. With an open setup, K-Doggy even knows out there that you can actually load, let's say, a Richmond setup, and he may actually be topping out in the RPM, so there's no way of changing that. He may be stuck.
That would be devastating. I mean, it's only a half a mile difference on this quad oval from Richmond, but the turns at being 28 degrees, I don't know. You're going to get a whole lot more power and a whole lot more speed here.
Right. Well, and then what you'll see is also some of the setups that these guys do make. You'll see, like in Michigan, guys will put in a Daytona setup, you know, that they had already built for Daytona, and it will work in Michigan. The ones that really catch you off guard are the ones who race at Homestead and actually use a Daytona setup when they find that the gearing works much better.
Really?
Keeping it the exact same. So this may be one of those situations, as we are seeing somebody locked in. Yeah, he said, been there, and yes, have done that. Yes.
No.
So there is a chance right now that there may be Douglas out there, may be doing just fine. He's just, we've loaded the wrong setup out here, and it will not go any faster. So to go ahead and try to get a sponsor on the car, he's going to keep going around the track here currently. Seeing how he's doing, he's right now running 15th, so I think Brian Wiggins is getting ready to pass him here in a little bit. Wiggins has some damage there on the right front. And if I'm not mistaken, is that Johnny Taylor has returned? Hot dog.
Yes.
Well, Johnny Taylor completely committed here.
Putting down some speedy laps right now, too.
Yeah, I know he's down a bunch of handfuls of laps here. He's going to be looking to come on back. Right now, that moves him up to the 18th position, as he goes ahead and passes Jason Ledford, who ended up tanking out there on lap number 5. Number 20 having a ton of damage right there at the beginning, involved in our first caution here of the race. And then next will be Kyle Hubbard. Hubbard is taking it back to the garage out there, as I saw he came down to, I think he was actually down there with Sikosi there for a little bit. He was with Sikosi or Stoney Benfield, and then ended up leaving. And he too has taken it back to the garage. So yeah, 21.78 laps. Tough race for him here tonight, and we'll see how it keeps going. Still in the lead is Mark Sikosi, quickly and closely followed by Avila, who's currently in the 88, sitting right behind him. That UPS machine is all over that rear bumper. Right now, I'm wondering if Avila knows how close he is.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. He's got this track pretty down pat. I noticed Jason Crumley was getting a little wild in the grass back there a minute ago, so I'm hoping that he squares himself away, because can't have any more of these cautions.
No. Now, Crumley was a bit off pace. Currently, he's sitting 12 seconds off pace. As currently we are looking at Sikosi staying out front and Avila has changed his line. As we are sitting on top of the 88 Chevrolet here, look at how he's rotating through. If I'm mistaken, he should be in a Ford. Yes, he is. Whoa, little front drag there.
Yeah, I think several of these guys are already having tire issues. That's what I would account Crumley's squiggles to. I think maybe Avila too. This may be a situation where they're going to be white knuckling it to the fuel window.
Yeah, as you can take a look, Sikosi hanging up toward the top. Through 1 and 2, he's almost up into the marbles. But notice how he is gaining distance. Seeing that Avila is starting to have that front tire problem. Remember I said riding down at the bottom, is that going to cost him later on? Avila gets a good turn entry though, but I don't know if he's going to be able to carry it out. He can't. So Sikosi backing up this turn as I've got our battle box down here on the bottom. So we can kind of take a look what we've got. And how they're chasing each other out there. See, he gains just a little bit and then loses a little bit, loses a little more this lap. Right now, last lap times, he's going to give about another 50 thousandths of a second to Mark Sikosi.
Yeah, the only other one that's making any inroads is Jeffrey Hyatt coming up on Stony Benfield. Giving him a little bit of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hyatt let out of the gas out there. I think he saw Stoney was not going to let up.
No.
So, yeah, right now, Bovair right now in the 16, passing him underneath. Ooh, and he's got a little front drift. I know, and you would normally don't see that once we kind of get up in these television cameras. Once you're in the car, you start noticing a lot of guys are having some problems out there, especially with that handling. Notice how the 16 starts midway, uses that right front tire. He must have a little extra life in it, digs down to the bottom, and does make some, definitely some strides ahead to run him down. Wow, yeah, look at Bovair there. Gets into the turn, but when he has to check up, that's even more pressure on that right front tire. So heat building up a ton here on the side. Here we take a look.
Let him go.
Yep, Stoney going ahead and letting that driver past. Dropping Stoney down to 7th, now to 8th, as it looks like Stoney's going to take the high side, but he should be able to stick it. Ooh, shot to the side here in the 11 car. All right, decides to trade a little bit of paint with him.
No worse for the wear.
Yep, we take a look here right now as we move up to the front. Sikosi has been overtaken here by Avila.
Oh.
Yep. So a couple passes here and there out there on the track. These guys have been smushing it all together. Sliding back and forth out there on the track. Right now I am showing that back on lap 36 is when that happened. Hyatt has finally overcome
Stony Benfield.
Yep, well, that's just for the moment. And Sikosi, I think, is diving again, taking a look here. Right now, that 88 machine is bobbing just a little bit. K-Joggy out there saying he might be letting those tires cool down a little bit. And I don't blame him right now. That's going to be Sikosi diving here to the inside again. Ooh, man. And that front tire starts to let go on him. Loses a ton of distance here. Jason Crumley is going to be our first one to come down into pits.
Aha. Alrighty. Yeah, I think he may have succumbed to the tire issue. Am I correct in seeing Stony Benfield is not running the NC811?
He is. Uh-oh, car in the wall.
Oh,
car in the wall.
Oh,
car coming back down. Hold it in. Oh, my gosh.
Nice.
Sikosi. Oh, my gosh. That is the second time this race that Sikosi has seen his race flash before his eyes.
No kidding.
Holy cow.
Wow. Yeah, I inhaled so fast I whistled and
holy cow.
I was not expecting that.
All right, let's get back up to the front. Sikosi, I think, closed his eyes there. Landwehr went and got around during that time. And Sikosi starting to feel the pressure here on the sides. Great save and nice driving. Yeah, there was a little bit of trouble out there. We'll see if that continues right now. How this is going, Douglas brings it down into pit road and passing Brian Wiggins, putting him back into the 15th spot. As he's going to be spending an extended amount of time. Look at the battle for the lead. Landwehr going for it.
Yeah, we're all back right where we started again.
Yep. These two side by side. Notice how the 28 has been waiting this one out. I think he definitely waited till that tank starts getting empty, and now he's going to start applying pressure.
Oh.
Here he comes to the inside. Right now, gun to the line, and that's going to go to Avila. Sikosi watching this from behind, has no say in the matter.
Well, I think he would do himself disservice if he didn't keep an eye on Landwehr, who seems to be drifting around some of these corners.
Yeah, well, definitely with a softer spring setup, you'll see that car mush down on the side there, and that's exactly what they're doing. It does allow the car to roll a lot more. You start stiffening up that sway bar, and it ends up creating more pressure on that tire. You do want the car to roll just a little bit here. But notice how the turn through 1 and 2 here, we are starting to get some rubber buildup on that top line. See how the tire tracks we're seeing? Not bad here, so everybody, whoa! Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, Avila. About to look and see ya. He better be careful. Holy cow, that was close.
Yeah, well, out in the chat, we also have Alicia Kaplan rooting on number 44. Jacob.
Right, yep.
Welcome aboard.
Yep, Kaplan currently holding in 5th. We'll poke back there in just a little bit. I do see he's sitting about 4.3 seconds from finding Justin Cope out there for the 4th place position. I think right now Bovair is going to have his number here in just a moment. I'm just stuck here on our top 3 drivers. Sikosi watching the 88 and the 28 go at it. Apparently, if you are ending in 8, you're good to go. If you're in a 9, you're not starting the race.
You're no kidding. Okay, that's a little weird.
All right,
I like
Jared
it.
Magoon, Brian Wiggins, and Douglas are hanging out down here in the pits. This will be Douglas's 3rd time pitting. And I think we've got a right front wheel that's MIA.
Oh. Truly.
All right.
I mean, gone. Okay.
Let's check in on Kaplan here. I think Kaplan just lost that position, dropping down to the 6th position. Right now he's almost right back where he originally started this race. But so far it's been a race of survival, the Hot Wheels machine. Coming in to put some fresh shoes on. Who else is coming down? Stoney Benfield. Stoney Benfield working his way down in the pit, and I believe Jeffrey Hyatt should be working his way on out.
On his way out, that's right.
Clint Mata, we're definitely hoping to see his car when the Sim Magic machine turn it back on here and get back up to the front. They continue to struggle out there. It has been a rough night for a lot of drivers. Here comes Avila on the outside. Mark Sikosi been taking a peek to the inside. Now, Stella, we've gone here for quite some time. Drivers have held out these tires and taken a look at some of our times out there. I would say right now, drivers like Jeremy Queener, we saw him loop it around, currently running 34 seconds, and his best time has been a 31.81. A driver like Sikosi's been running a 30.8, currently running a 32.64. Not as much fall off, so great job here. And that's going to be it for Avila. Down in the pits he goes. We'll be back at it. Right now, Sikosi going to see if he can watch Landwehr and determine when he comes in and pit at the same time.
Yeah, at least this track isn't one of those where you are completely dependent on coming through with the crowd. You can come in by yourself and still survive.
Yep. All right, would like to go ahead and give a shout out here to Track Day for War veterans out there, presented by Fubar Studios. If you don't think I know what that means, good, nice try. Definitely make sure we get our vets out there onto the track and enjoy a little bit of time out there. All right, Landwehr is the only holdout here so far other than Shane Wheeldon, who looks like he'll be looping around. I think he's the last driver currently, not a lap down. Landwehr will see if he decides to come on down. Actually, he's going to hang out there. No kidding. So 49 laps on these tires for Landwehr.
Well, and 50 laps on that fuel.
Yes.
So,
So, but with caution laps does come a little bit of savings. And this is currently Landwehr. Yep, looking at Shane Wheeldon. Wheeldon slicing here, as he is going ahead and letting the number 6 of Devin Lockridge go on around. And I think that's going to do it. Landwehr's on his way down.
yes.
And Shane Wheeldon's got to watch his time out there. 33.90 was his last lap. Some of our guys are starting to run about 2 seconds faster each and every lap, so he's going to want to not hang out there too much longer. So he's currently on that back stretch. Let's see where our guy here, Avila, currently hitting third. Now, as soon as he passes Shane Wheeldon here, he'll be in the lead. Justin Cope sits fourth. I've got to say, still, looking at some of our pit stops, dismal times by a lot of our guys who are up front. Avila had a good stop with a under 15-second stop. Great job. But we've got some guys who are hanging their head. Jeffrey Hyatt with a 15.28. Mark Sikosi with a over 15-second pit stop. These guys have been unfortunate. Like Sikosi right now, he is currently hanging out in 7th now. Pretty rough for battling for the lead up there. Avila and Landwehr, both these guys trying to run it down. Now, I would say here, Stella, if Landwehr hadn't have taken another 0.3 of time out there in the pits, and right now I guarantee they're talking with the pit crew currently.
Smack somebody around?
Yeah, Landwehr would be a lot closer. Now, Shane Wheeldon still has yet to pit here. I'm assuming this is him running out of gas. Yeah, 85, 84. Yeah, we're not picking up speed. I think he's out of fuel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely stretched it out a little too far.
Now, something I'd like to notice.
Yeah,
make
that's
note
it. See?
Of.
That's it. He's out of fuel.
Oh.
Oh, he's out of go-go juice. That's not good.
Will he make it?
Maybe. We'll check in. I'll let you know if he makes it. Currently running about 15 miles an hour. Yes, he makes it to the box.
He made it.
Gosh.
And now this is our last person coming in, because Jeremy Queener came in on lap 3.
Yes.
And he is now finally coming in for his set of tires at 54.
Yep.
So I think he's going to have a nice set of tires available, at the end of the run.
Yeah. Now, when he shows them how bad those tires are sticking, even down into pit road, that's going to be tough. All right, that moves with Queener coming down. That's going to move Mata into the 10th spot, as he has moved up 8 here on the night, starting in that 18th position. Not bad. Clint Mata's been having a rough night here so far. Currently running 32.11 out there on the track. A little slower than some here in the recent laps. Mark Sikosi is the only driver running under 31 seconds. So Sikosi's trying to pick up the pace here a little bit, as he is currently 5 1/4 seconds off pace. And we'll see how he does here at Atlanta. This has been a tough run here at the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500. If you guys are just tuning in, 2 cautions in the first 5 laps out there. First one started with Devin Lockridge. Looked like he started in first, slipped and slide, taking out about 3 drivers out there who have unfortunately taken it back to the garage. One of them was Jason Ledford. He ended up getting a boatload of damage, as he sits in the 19th position. Johnny Taylor was one of them, but Taylor has been out there knocking down some fast laps. The 30.80. So right now he's flying. And we had our second caution. It involved Jeremy Queener, that he did almost the identical thing in the identical spot. Ended up spinning out right before the start-finish line on lap number 4. And so far, Stella, we have been green flag ever since, and I've got to admit, it's refreshing to see that the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500 will be green flag here for the majority here of this race.
Just don't speak too soon. You know how that happens. But I'll tell you, last week we had an hour and 38 minutes, 6 cautions, 20 lead changes, and it's still that was an okay race in my book.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So right now, Gen 4 Cup Legends Series here with the NSR League has been doing a great job out there. We'll check in on a couple of our drivers getting pretty close to one another. Right now, Landwehr and Cope have been getting ready to snug up to each other. Right now, Cope out there in the Rusty Wallace machine trying to see if he's got any sort of fight in him here right now as he dives down toward the bottom, close to that white line with Passive Barney. And Cope with a 31.49, so about 60,000 slower than last time. That's to be expected, especially with how tire wear and how tough it is at this track. Landwehr still trying to run down Johnny Avila here, who's currently in that #1 spot. Fantastic job here as Devin Lockridge has gone down a lap. And they continue to fight here, Stella. Now, I would say that some of these guys are trying different things out there to see if they can overcome what somebody else is doing. And right now I'm showing that Jeffrey Hyatt, something has happened. And I think Hyatt has taken it back to the garage. Let's take a look, as it says he may have crashed out here. I'm hoping this is not a... Yeah, something happened to the 11 car here. And he has taken it back to the garage.
Oh, man.
Yep. So Hyatt in the 30 will be finishing lower than 13th. If Magoon, Wiggins, and Taylor continue to charge on.
Sounds good.
All right, Stella.
What somebody else is trying to do out there to see what they can do at the Atlanta track is Justin Williams. We don't see him out here today because he's actually in Atlanta for the race.
Hey, Fubar Studios says, dang, I'm out.
Yep.
Rough ride here. If I was not mistaken, I believe Mr. Douglas had that on the back of his car. Yep, there he is.
Okay.
Ton of damage, unfortunately, to that car. They're still trying to find that wheel.
Yeah. The wheel, the bumper, piece of the hood.
Yeah. A rough night here tonight, as he has been trying to keep it trucking, though. So Hyatt makes it 59 laps out of the 127 here tonight. Hey, see? He said that's me.
Yeah.
Rough night here tonight for you, buddy. I see a little bit off pace there, about 40 or 50 miles an hour off. I'm hoping that maybe we loaded the wrong setup out there. It's definitely tough here. Yep, left it in Daytona. See?
No!
Either that or he's talking about the wheel.
You called that one. Good deal.
Yeah. Now, what I end up doing is he won't have any speed. It's set up for a super speedway, so there's no torque involved anymore. So, boy, tough race.
Well, spot for your team. That's what we always suggest.
Yeah, hard to spot. These boys are all spread out. So right now, Yates Racing is doing an awesome job. Currently, two out of their three drivers are sitting 1, 2, and 7.
So yeah, not bad at all. Actually, and 1 through 7 are currently the only ones on the lead lap.
Yeah.
So unless we have something drastic, which would give at least Clint Mata a lucky dog, we're gonna be running out of contenders.
Yep. Well, but this was the difference that we saw back in the day, back in the Gen 4, when they called this the Golden Age of racing. This is when racing was racing. It was dependent on your strategy. It was dependent on not being on pack racing. And this is what you would find out: the driver, the car, the track, and and the other drivers around you. Those should be your only things you're really worried about out there. And what you're seeing is Landwehr. How far back was he? I mean, this guy was almost 3.5 seconds back, currently sticking a right front fender in, and he's going to be looking to go for the pass here into turn number 1. Pushing Avila up to the top, and now the 28 will have his opportunity. He's got the lead here for, I think, for a blink of an eye, though, as the 88 will have some turn exit speed. This is going to work out very well for him, as watch Avila go ahead and wave him on by one more time. Let's see if he can leave him in the dust, but no can do. Let's see if we can hop on top here and take a look how Avila is watching this car. Oof, lost around it.
Yeah, I'm also watching to see whether them having this gnashing back and forth is giving Justin Cope and Mark Sikosi a little bit of time to catch up. But not currently. They're still running almost 2 seconds behind them.
Yep. Very close here for a lot of these drivers, trying to stay out and away from them and trying to catch up. It's going to be very difficult here. I believe the number 6 of Lockridge has taken it back to the garage now. Lockridge making it 60 laps out there. Pretty tough. And Stella, I know there is a bonus point for anybody who can make it past that halfway mark. That is that is not going to apply for some. No. I could see if your damage is above and beyond.
Oh, if you don't make it the half,
right,
more than halfway, you don't get that bonus point. I don't think you'd get the bonus point for having 0x either. So it, yeah, but I like the fact that there are a lot of possibilities and ways of getting bonus points in this league. They don't usually come out like that. Most of the time you get, your countdown from 43, 42, 41, depending upon the placement that you come in at the end. But, I mean, these guys have a point for most laps led, point for lap led, fastest lap even, one for pole position, and then for making it at least 50% of the race, and then 50% of the race with no incidents. So you have a whole lot of opportunities to get bonus points.
Yep. Check out back in the chat, T.S. Ritchie. Hey, written on the Faster Pastor. Glad to see you back here with SimTraX Broadcasting. Taking a look at a couple of our couple of drivers, not extra drivers, a couple of our drivers out there is still hanging in there. Right now, Russ Bovair is who we are looking at, is not only that, looking to line up as a hard charger here of the night. That's 11 positions gained for him as he started back in the 16th spot. Currently running top 5, not bad. Might have to get a name on the front of that number 16 car if he's going to be running up front a whole lot this season. So Stella, do we have a you have a markdown for exactly where the number 16 placed out at Daytona?
At Daytona, I can get that for you in 3 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Excellent, beautiful. All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on where some of our drivers continue to land here. Devin Lockridge having a horrible night, as he was the cause of our first caution here of the night, and it's definitely a huge stir-up. Especially for some of the other drivers. I would say that looking out there, Johnny Taylor was going to be one of our drivers to contend with out there in the number 3, and he was taken out in the first round. I believe he also rear-ended the number 20 car of Jason Ledford when he went sideways trying to avoid, so he saw nothing but smoke, and around they went, which was very, very odd and a very difficult chain of events there that ended up happening. And we take a look here with our race and how this is all kind of boiling down here a little bit as we try to churn off the last 50 laps or so that we have here. We'll talk a little bit about where our next race is going to be. We're going to be there for UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 133 laps in Vegas. And then one of my favorite races right after that. I know everybody knows that this is a worldwide known race, is the Coca-Cola 600 out there at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Stella, we also have the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway right after that. So I tell you, this may be a short season, but this to me is an exciting one. This has a lot of fan favorites out there and driver favorites as well. Avila trying to run down Landwehr here and has currently gotten the lead from him, and notice how, wow, slicing back to the inside, Landwehr. Going ahead and putting that Levi Garrett number 5 up toward the top. Normally that's down in the bottom lip, but we'll see how he hangs up toward the top, and around he goes. So Landwehr puts another one in the rearview mirror as they continue this charge forward. Brian Wiggins going down another lap.
Yeah, and last week Russ Bover came in third at the Daytona 500, and that's a nice podium finish set of points right there.
There you go. I was trying to get you to see. Holy cow! All right, great job here so far, Stella. Give me some information on this track. You know, Atlanta's been a heck of a place. A lot of people end up coming here, but don't you tell me a daggone thing about Jimmy Carter handing out tickets. Give me something new.
It's something new. Well, heck. Let's see. The first pole sitter here ever was Fireball Roberts. Let's see. He also won the race, but his average speed was 133 miles an hour.
Huh.
Better?
Fireball Roberts.
Yeah.
Why does that sound like he's from somewhere else too? He wasn't just there.
Oh, he ran the same time the Pettys, the Allisons. I mean, oldie goldie type of running before NASCAR was NASCAR.
Right. I just mean Atlanta, I don't think is his only track that he's really made a name for himself out there. He'll come to me.
Okay.
It'll come to me. I'll remember.
No, it will.
Yeah, because it wasn't Dover, was it?
What, I mean, he's originally from Florida.
Yeah, I thought he had another lap, track time where he went wire to wire and ended up winning it. Because I don't think he was the World Cup winner. Back when it was when Charlotte was the longest race out there. It's like an 18-hour race or something. That rings a bell. All right, we're taking a look here at Johnny Avila. Currently drifting out a second. The second turn, that is. Last time he pit was back on lap 47. And right now, I guarantee he's starting to look up at that time going, all right, well, 47, we got to double that. Oh, boy, I'm getting close to needing tires, but not quite yet. He's got quite a ways to go here. And he definitely wants to end on some fresher tires than Landwehr, who ended up hanging out 3 laps later than that. Landwehr showing that those tires are definitely working very well for him as he shoots up, and he is now leaving the field by a second and a half. Justin Cope has gone ahead and gathered up third as Sikosi settles down into fourth, and Bover is currently sitting in the number 5 spot. Jacob Kaplan sitting 6th as the Hot Wheels machine is able to get fresh tires on that thing. Last time we checked in on him, currently holding in the 6th. And Stoney Benfield currently is our 7th place driver. A lot of tough racing out here at this track. Guys are trying to find where in the world they can come up with some more speed or some strategy out here. But when you start with a couple of cautions here, Stella, right at the beginning, boy, it just kind of deep breath, makes you hang your head a little bit, and it's going to be pretty tough to see if they can fight back to the front. But I would say here, Stella, when we talk a little bit about guys who ended up coming to this race and ended up getting taken out earlier, leaving early and not helping your team, I guess, take a peek, do some spotting out there. What can they do about knocking some stuff down? Where's the leader riding in their lane to see if you can change what you need to do?
Yes.
It's kind of a bummer out there, and it kind of takes that team play and kind of throws it out the window.
Well, we see the team play out the window a lot of times. You'll even, Talladega, everybody sticks together like glue, and then you get those last 3 laps, and it's every man for himself.
Ouch. Into the wall here for Clint Mata. Yeah, I guarantee that, but what I'm talking about is more of, you see racers actually talk after practice or talk after, happy hour about what in the world is the track doing, what have they changed, and somebody will be like, hey, we do a little bit of this. When somebody gets there, I'll follow behind you and help push you to the front. I feel like we can get around that guy, and they'll talk it out about what they can do out there in the car. But, I understand maybe if your car isn't out there, but normally you even see the guy put an earbud in and still follow along with the race, rather than just taking it back to the race trailer and taking a nap.
Yeah, none of that. So, yeah, I think they could always come in here too if they'd like. Come to the post-race, infield car care center if they want to talk about what the track did to them also.
Yep. It's definitely something that they can do, and we'll definitely queue up and try to make sure we remind everybody that they have that opportunity out here. Avila is still holding on to that second position as they continue to fight their way up to the front and see if they can find another angle here. Right now, Justin Cope may be a driver we're going to keep our eye on here. That should be currently, I believe, that is them passing Stoney Benfield. Yeah, that's Benfield currently holding an 8th. Yeah, K-Doggy saying even help you with pit adjustments as well. Yeah, so, I mean, you can even get in the guy's ear and have a conversation with him. Hey, man, I'm getting tight rolling through, coming out of 1 into 2, and the car feels like it's jamming up on me. And say, hey, man, I try to take an extra round on that track bar and see if you can get a little more out of it. I mean, heck, even changing the tire adjustment by a single pound can end up changing your race. And that's what you'll normally see. Most guys spend all their practice getting set up for the race, and then just making the slight adjustments when they get out there. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Devin Lockridge out there is kind of hanging his head about his earlier caution here of the race. I see him pinging in there to make sure he tells everybody. He's a little he's upset with his performance here tonight, but he'll have another go at it at Las Vegas next week. We are breaking right here past the less than 40 laps left to go for this race at the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500. Bill Harkins, appreciate you joining us out here as this race got off to a bumpy start with a couple of cautions out there earlier here in the race, and this has been nothing but Landwehr, Avila, and Sikosi's race. But now Cope is starting to throw his hat into the ring. Only a second and a half off Avila here, who's currently sitting in the second position. Can that Miller Lite machine come up with something here?
It is altogether possible. I mean, he's only had a 1 second drop off on his times between his best and his last, whereas the other fellas ahead of him have been burning up those tires. They're over 2 seconds slower than they were when they came out. So I think he may have a little bit of an advantage.
Yep. Well, as Avila comes on down into pit, Sikosi will join him. The number 8 machine's still moving on. Cope and Landwehr are now going to go at it. Right now, about a 5 second gap, but Cope is actually picking up pace. Except that little nudge of the wall there. And I think Cope is actually coming on down now. Move our studio rooting on Justin out there. Justin Cope comes on down. He'll be nuzzling into his pit box here in just a moment. Bovair decides to stay out. Now, I believe one of our drivers who stayed out the longest is still out there, and Bovair is holding on to that second spot. Last time he came down was lap 48, and Landwehr showing that whoa! Changes his mind here. Well, lap number 50 is when he came in. I was wondering if he was thinking about splitting it. Staying out there for 2 or 3 more laps and coming in around lap 97 instead of lap 50 like he did last time. And see if he can have a huge tire advantage at the end of this race. So that does not seem to be the account this time. As currently Avila is starting to knock down the fastest times of his night, 15:32 through 1 and 2. As blazing speed, Sikosi doing the same. He's picking up the pace.
And again, Nathaniel Landwehr got a 15.73 in pit.
Yuck. A little
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin work there as we see Landwehr moving on. Round he goes for Avila as he takes over the lead, and right now knocking down the fastest time here of the night, a 30.57. As blazing time out there for Avila. Can Sikosi come up with that same kind of speed?
Yeah, so far, his fastest time has been a 30.659. So he's going to have to find a new line because his tires aren't going to be the only thing to help him.
Yep, I think Sikosi just knocked down a faster time than that there, Stella. Right now, as he is following behind Justin Cope, getting in a little bit of that dirty air here, he's seeing if he can battle on through. So as this track race winds down here, SimTraX wants to make you aware of how busy that we are starting to get. If you're looking to get an extra broadcast squeezed in, go ahead and apply to simtraxbroadcasting.com. We are currently booked for Monday with the Nora Racing League and the Gen 4 cars, but they stay in the fixed setup as NSR is on Saturdays with an open setup. Running some identical tracks out there, and we run us into
Wednesday?
Yeah, into Wednesdays out there with the Bandit Racing League.
Thursday?
Yep. I was gonna say, Stella, you got this. And then Thursday we're going ahead and marching it off there with the USORL League. But we've got two leagues kind of winding down a little bit. The Bandit Racing League and the USORL League are slowly coming to an end as they are each themselves in their playoff runs. USORL this Thursday will be their season finale for the TWB. And we'll see as Stella eliminations for the Bandit Racing League ended up happening at the end of this last race. So this is going to be pretty rough for the guys who are heading into tracks like Bristol that are upcoming.
Yeah, they're down to their 8. They had to cut 4 last week, and so now they have 8 going into the playoffs of the next 3 races.
Yep. Well, we kind of laugh it off a little bit there as Avila has a chance here to come away with a win, but Landwehr is showing different. Knocks down his fastest time of the night with a 30.55, catches him here, and has now got the nose of his car out front, and Avila into the wall. No. All right, so the Dale Jarrett machine gets mangled out here as he takes that right side out, trying to stay down on the bottom. And Stella, this is something you start to see. I wouldn't say this is inexperience. What ends up happening is you see the guy passing you, you're giving it all you got, and he's still passing you no matter what. So it's definitely a heartbreaker here for the 88 machine to watch the 28 year of Nathan Landwehr driving away with this one. Justin Cope sitting back about 5.5 seconds. So right now it's the battle between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 as we move back to Cope and Sikosi. Sikosi sitting off by now 0.6 of a second as he's now playing chase. And that should be just about all of our drivers are just, I believe, on our lead lap here. I believe Bover, I think, may still be on to the lead lap, I believe, but he's about a light year behind, sitting off about 9 seconds off pace. Got to find another 3 to find Sikosi. And then we move to Kaplan, who's back 16.6, and Stoney Benfield, who I think got back onto the lead lap here. But he is in imminent danger of going a lap down here in about another 4 to 5 seconds.
Just barely, yes. Yeah, if they're running 30-second laps and he's 26 behind, so they're going to find him very soon.
Yep. Well, Stoney Benfield actually came down into pit on lap 85. So his tires being about 6 to 7 laps older than the guys who are running down even from the front. This is going to be tough here for Stoney Benfield. Johnny Taylor working his way on out of pit.
Yep.
We'd like to tip our hat to Johnny Taylor for still continuing to run the race. Right now he's moved up from dead last. I think he was sitting somewhere around 19th. When he came down into pit, he's fought himself up to the 14th position. Now, yeah, he's a boatload of laps down, but still saving face out there and for the sponsors on the car. So thank you, Johnny Taylor. Hopefully we'll see you have a better night at Las Vegas. It'll have to be a gamble to get a good run. There you go. There's your ridiculous pun. We'll leave it for this week. All right. We'll take a look out there in the chat. Right now, Devin is saying his foot slipped off the clutch and he spun the tires on the start, causing a restart.
Yeah, no more bowling for you, dear. Gotta lay off that hard work.
Yeah, pretty tough out there. We saw when we sat inside that the RPM started getting really high, so if he ended up getting high and then when he pressed the clutch down, if his foot slipped off the clutch and then it dumped it, and that's what sidestepped the car to the side and aimed him right toward the rest of the field, unfortunately. Boy, Stella, right now, tough race. 23 laps left to go. Can anybody make a move? Can anybody get a leg up on somebody? As Jason Crumley's working his way down into pit, the 83. Yeah, I'm showing something's happened to Johnny Taylor here.
I was gonna say, something is going on.
Yeah, might be able to try
came down on... Whoop, sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. Engine's still running. Yeah. He may have had some trouble here. Something happened.
He was taking the scenic route.
Yep. Now definitely staying out of the way. And Johnny Taylor, I think he realizes he's not going to make it any more positions up. Because right now, Brian Wiggins and the Levi Garrett machine is still getting around the track. We'll definitely see. Right now, I don't have any drivers out there in the infield car care center, so we are still A-OK. Jeremy Queener are coming on down. 12, 14, 15. That's just how many pit boxes. All right.
What?
I was counting how many pit boxes he's going through.
Oh, no.
Just me being a butthead. All right, Landwehr still leading this one. Avila is second. Justin Cope is third. Guys, don't go away. Here at the end of this race, we're going to be talking to our top 3 drivers here. And then SimTraX will be changing it up here just a little bit here in the upcoming weeks on how we're going to be doing our interviews out there and try and make them a little peppier and more enjoyable to listen to rather than, yeah, had a good race. Yeah, we're not going to be doing all that. We're going to try to keep it peppy. How'd that sound, Stella? Does that sound a little more monotone?
If you are any peppier, I'm gonna have to get some ketamine. Yikes.
Well, we'll try to definitely keep it lively here at SimTraX Broadcasting. Currently tonight we're here with the NSR Series and the Gen 4 Cup Legend League, an open setup league. Definitely a driver's pick. Anybody I've heard that have been driving the Gen 4 cars say this is the driver's choice right now. I believe there's a modification coming to the Gen 4 cars that are going to be changing how the inside of the car looks.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, don't change it up now after everybody's got their setups the way they like it.
Yeah.
So Jacob Kaplan came down into the pits. He's getting a little something done. Whew.
Bill out there telling me to settle down. I'm sorry.
Oh. All right, 14-second pit stop. Looks like he's taking this opportunity to put on his last set of tires.
Whoa. What's that white line there? He's got to make it past that commitment cone before he comes back onto the track. There we go. Now you come up. All right, so we'll keep it going. I think Bill, I think he likes the way we broadcast out here. I start sounding like an auctioneer. I start talking so fast once we have guys racing to the line with about 2 to 3 to go. I think, Stella,
yeah.
you just kind of hang back and...
Yeah, I stay the heck out of the way.
We just cheap a little bit, but we definitely keep it lively here. The Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500 here with the NSR League will be coming to a close here in about 16 laps. Landwehr doing a great job. Not only has he scored on the pole here tonight, but he is leading by almost 4 seconds over top of Johnny Avila, who also started is in second position, has been playing chase. Moving on through, that does give us to Justin Cope, who sits up 2 positions. That's not bad for a 5th place start, as he's in 3rd. Sikosi, our 4th place driver, he drops down 1 from his original starting position. And right now we want to circle that Russ Bover out there, doing a great job here, sitting in 5th. That gives him 11 positions gained on the night. Awesome job here. Most drivers end up some laps down from a little bit of a couple volleys out there, guys nailing the wall a few times, and guys sitting there smashing it around, so we'll see how it goes. K-Doggy out there saying only the ARCA car is getting the update, nothing from Gen 4. Yeah, I remember it saying not releasing this update. I knew it wasn't coming in section 2 of this. I knew it's coming in section 2 of the iRacing series, so they'll be poking around with it. Yeah, ARCA. I thought ARCA was being included as well, but I thought they were doing something different to the Gen 4. So it was something about some suspension change, as that they were changing. I wasn't sure if the dash was transferring over to the Gen 4. Appreciate the update out there in the chat. You guys definitely keep me honest here in the booth. There's no getting around that. This is actually the battle here for 4th. Sikosi losing a position. Sikosi may be dropping down to a 5th place.
Oh, my.
Yeah, definite change here. They'll be pulling Landwehr's car apart here at the end of the race, seeing what he's done.
Yeah, Sikosi managed to get a lead lap or so, but he hasn't been able to come back since that first pit stop.
No, and almost like it almost seems it was a change, maybe a little too much to get something changed.
You think he tweaked something?
Right. Is actually tweaked it for the worse, and has been battling trying to bring that car back.
You know what they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Well, you always want to improve it just a little bit. You get out there, it starts getting a little tight. You want to add a pound of pressure to the right rear. What guys will end up doing is they'll do 2 pounds to the right front, 2 pounds to the right rear, or turn a wedge, go back out there, and you have no idea if one fixed your problem, the second one made your problem worse, and the third one was neutral. It didn't change anything. So then you're battling backwards trying to figure out what happened to the car, right? So then you try to, okay, well, let's remove 2 pounds out of the right rear. Well, now I made it worse, you know, and you only have a certain amount of pit stops that you can make that adjustment. But that also just comes, Stella, with time in. A lot of guys are going to be seeing, try to move around. K-Dog out there saying release the early 80s, release the 80s, early 90s version of this track.
Oh.
Stella, what was different about this track during that time?
Very funny. Well, they went and did the increase from 24 to 28 degrees in the banking, but not that level. I am pretty sure they did. Yeah, they did that in 21. They tore up the track like within hours of finishing the race. And it only took them 163 days to put it all back together. Let's see what else I have. 80s, 90s, goodness.
Yeah, see if they can slice through. All right, we're going to keep our eyes here on Justin Cope. I think Cope right now is starting to get his eyes staring at that rear view mirrors. Bover is now starting to really pick up the pace here. Times are almost matching here in the past lap or so. We take a look at the back here of Justin Cope's car. Bover starting to reel him in. Now less than 3/10 before he may be overtaken. We may be talking Bover again for a 3rd place finish. If Cope isn't careful here, he's definitely trying to maintain how this car feels out there on the track. Whoa, Cope. That's what Bover wanted to see. Little fumble here in the front. We hop on board. Ready, run on some lap traffic here. That's Stoney Benfield on the top. Stoney holding it, yep, to the inside. Here we go, around they go. Stoney Benfield lap down. That leaves us with our top 5 drivers.
Wow.
Our top 5 drivers are currently within 7 seconds of each other. Unfortunately, that is continuing to grow. Cope may be in trouble here as Bovair took a look to the inside. Gets under 0.2 of a second to run him down here. Tough race for a lot of these guys right now. Down pit road, Johnny Taylor now still remains down there. As Brian Wiggins brings his car on down. Pass for third, Bovair's got it. Holy cow, Bovair coming back. That's now 13 on the night. Must have had a horrible qualifying. And decide not to get it there. And he goes ahead and puts Justin Cope in the rear view. Now what ends up happening is drivers who are late in the race get passed like this, end up getting the fidgets out there, and we'll see if Justin Cope, yep, into the wall. Starts missing those marks, seeing if he can come up with any sort of distance there, and that is going to go ahead and scrubs Cope's hope of slicing up to the front with 5 laps left to go. We haven't had Landwehr in the camera here for quite some time, as there's only 4 laps left to go. He's leading by currently 4 seconds. So not bad here. Avila sits in that number 2 spot as we kind of poke our pan back. There he is. And another 3 seconds beyond that. Here's Bovair, Cope, and caution. Caution out here on the track. If I'm not mistaken, Douglas returned back to the track out here. Got the right front wheel on. I may be incorrect. Let me check out there. Stoney Benfield. There he is. Had the wrong piece up. Looked like Stoney Benfield may have looped it here. And bringing out a caution late into this race. Stella, I know you were looking up 80 and 90s. Let's talk about race rules here. Do we finish under caution, or are these guys going to gun it out here at the end?
That is up to the league how they're going to do it, because lucky dogs weren't happening and green-white checkers weren't happening, so it really depends on race control.
Looking to see, it looks like Stoney Benfield's wheels cocked pretty bad here. There's you see the streaks from the spin out as he heads into the wall. Let's check out what happens to Stoney Benfield here. Oh, dog!
Okay. He was getting off the track.
Yeah, reverse, no.
There we go.
So gets the car back together after being down. Look at that, straight boom. Sikosi! Sikosi's night, Stoney's night. Holy cow, what a run. That looked really bad. Sikosi got underneath of him there and almost shovel-nosed him. Let me see one more time here from Sikosi's angle. Maybe we can see if we can find if they have a camera inside. We'll see if they marked his car for that. I'll double check. Let's take a look. This is what Sikosi sees. Car in the wall like he's on the brakes.
Okay.
Yeah, K-Doggy out there saying replay from the 8 view. We got her. Have no fear.
So, 2 people hit him?
Yes.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah, so we were actually sitting on board with Mark Sikosi as the caution flag came out. Mark Sikosi, this is what he sees right here, and then boom, he comes to a stop. Bang! Yeah, I don't think he knew he wasn't completely up to speed there, and as soon as he made contact with the wall, it took about 40 miles an hour off, and he gets underneath of him. So Sikosi, we'll see if he is able to continue this race. Ton of damage here to the front of his race car. Holy cow.
So who hit him first?
Sikosi hit him first.
Oh, then Stoney hit him too.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it looked like Douglas Macedo hit the wall. When he hit the wall, Sikosi got underneath of him. Sikosi dropped to the bottom. Doug went up to the top, and then that's where Stoney met him.
Stoney. Oh my heavens. Okay. Well, that would explain why when I just went down to pit road and asked Mark Sikosi if we had green white checkers, he was less than pleased to see. But yes, this league will have green white checkers.
Okay.
So
Well, we double check back here. Justin Cope off to a horrible start here at the green flag. This drops him down to 6th. That's going to give Landwehr that scrub that run as everybody came down on lap 125. Kaplan did not. And Kaplan gets marched out as he falls down to 4th. White flag is out. Right now, Landwehr only needs to get 4 more turns. Knocks down 2 here. Avila sits in 2nd. Avila would love these tires to kick in here. He's had great short run speed. Right now, the 88 UPS car going to full send it in here. He's only got a quarter of a second. Down to the bottom. Does he have the angle? Right now, I don't think he's going to have enough for it. So Nathaniel Landwehr coming to the line here will take the Brass Pro Shops MBNA 500 win. Russ Bover for another 3rd place finish in a row as he follows behind Johnny Avila, who finishes in 2nd. Jacob Kaplan ended up 4th, Justin Cope in 5th, and Sikosi with a ton of damage. Loses it by 90 thousandths of a second at the line. I want to double check here at Justin Cope during the green flag here while we have a spit of a second at what gets him offset here. This is the race start. When we get back at it here. Oh, dog. Right there. And that's what ended up shuffling him way back.
Wow.
And then him and Sikosi at the line here.
Well, it almost looked like there was a lane change prior to the start-finish line. And I think that might have kind of thrown his concentration off.
Holy cow, look how close this is going to be.
Yep.
Oh, there's the angle we're looking for.
Ouch.
Nice. Alrighty. They do their burnouts out there. Appreciate you guys joining us here. Here at SimTraX Broadcasting, we'll be running our guys down here in just a moment, have a conversation about what in the world happened out there and what a tough night it was for a lot of our drivers. What an awesome job here. And even during the restart, even Cope found out that there's a slick spot out there on the track. We'll see how it goes. So hang in there, everybody. We'll be right back.
I'm here this
So here we are with our 3rd place finisher tonight and last week, Russ Bover. How does it feel?
it was fun. It's a great track. I'm surprised I had a piece to play with. I'm just starting to spend some time with building on this, and yeah, that was fun.
So did you make your own very own setup for this track?
Yes.
Okay. We
To be
noticed there's
fair, I've been
been
building for a long time on here. Um,
Oh, well, we had some people that were running stock cars, literally, some that were running a different tracks setup on here. And I have to ask, are you running a playoff banner?
I don't think so. I honestly, this
Okay.
paint is from like a couple of years ago as well. I don't
Okay,
think
we
it's.
have
I think I just have paint over it. It's not a playoff one.
we have a
But
league that runs that green banner and the wing in the back, and it kind of makes me go, he's
oh
setting up
yeah,
early.
yeah. No, I'm looking at it. Yeah, no, I just covered up the banner with a color.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right. Well, next week it's Las Vegas. How you feeling about that track? You gonna build a
Uh,
whole new setup?
kind of. But I definitely got a decent idea of a couple things with the builds on these. Um, and yeah, either way, I'm looking forward to it. I love these cars. They remind me of how things used to be on the sim years ago. A lot more of a handful to drive, and yeah,
Yeah, in other words, you don't have to you're not gonna find yourself falling asleep driving this one.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of all the downforce keep getting added to it. So this is kind of a nice change of pace.
All right. All right. Very good. Well, you got some shout outs. See you got an empty hood today, but who's out there watching you?
Um, well, I thank everyone over at Nitro and all the guys I've worked with that learned all this stuff over the years. Um, you guys, the league, Mark for inviting me over here last second. It's good to kind of sneak away and uh, running a little league like this. This is a nice change of pace for me. So, yeah,
Oh, fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at Las Vegas. And I turn it back over to Patrick.
All right, good job, Russ, and we'll definitely watch and see if you can come in for maybe a little more than third in the next couple of races.
yeah. Maybe I'll qualify next week.
There you go. There you go. Congratulations, Russ.
All right, thanks.
All right, that moves us on to our second place finisher here, Johnny Avila. Man, what a race this was. Become the bridesmaid here tonight. Talk to me about this race right here at the end.
Yeah, it was a great race. Right there in practice, I was able to dial in the set, and I gotta just say, my teammate Nate just drove a great race. He did a better job on saving the tires that first run, and then I tried a short pit to catch up, and he was just long gone after that. But it was a fun race, and had a nice couple battles with some guys in here like Mark. It was a lot of fun. I love this track.
All right, the 88 Ford UPS did an awesome job here tonight as teammates. How difficult is it to want to battle alongside him or to try to run him down to see if you can come away with the points?
I'm more likely to wreck him than anybody else. I'm gonna be honest.
On purpose or by accident?
We'll go with on accident.
Okay.
But yeah, my teammates are probably the people I'll race the hardest, but we'll always keep it clean and have fun with it.
Well, that's going to have to transfer over to Las Vegas as this race is over. The two of you guys are going to be seeing if you can go to a little more door-to-door action at that track.
I'm gonna just try to take him down. I can't let him beat me 2 weeks in a row.
I like it. Sounds good. Tensions are building.
All right.
Nah.
Well, we'll definitely let him have it. All right, go and give me. This is your time. But go ahead and give me a shout outs for anybody out here watching you or the sponsors out there on the car.
I guess I gotta thank UPS. They delivered one hell of a package tonight. But first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that sets up this league, and obviously you guys up in the booth. It gives us an opportunity to sit back and enjoy our moment as pretend race car drivers for the evening. So got to thank you guys for that.
All right, appreciate you. Go ahead and keeping the paint scheme accurate to the time, buddy. We'll see how you do at Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, awesome job. Nathan Landwehr is our race winner here tonight, and what a tough race it was, man. You held in there, and you were able to overcome one of your own teammates. Boy, talk to me, what was the key to winning here tonight, and what was the biggest adjustment you found that was the key to success?
Yeah, so tonight it's a long race, and when you get strung out and get these green flag runs, it's a good time, but I just found that saving the tires there, especially on that first run, I knew that I overall don't feel like I have the pace of Johnny, but he kind of gave it a go with Mark, and I just saved tires and was able to pass him there at the end of the run. And with him pitting early, it just gave us a kind of an advantage on track. I just always had better tires than him, and then I also found halfway through the race the middle was really working, so I just kind of stuck with that and just was able to drive away and just had a good run.
Well, it definitely seemed that way as you came out there. He tried to short pitch you, though, on the second stint. Was that also a mistake for him as well, or was that a good call of him trying to battle back toward you?
I think that was probably the best call he could make there. He'd kind of burned him up racing Mark, and that was kind of his last attempt to kind of get back on a level playing field with me, but just with how much these tires burn off, it just wasn't in his favor.
How does that transfer to Vegas? Is that the same problem with the set of right side tires burning up?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty similar. I think here probably a little worse, and I think at Vegas you might be able to get away with a lap or two older tires than someone, but here there's just no chance.
All right, well, the number 28 Haviland Ford makes it in to winner's circle, man. Congratulations. Go ahead and give me a shout out here for the people out here watching, the sponsors on the car.
Yeah, I would just like to shout out my wife downstairs watching. Shout out Cody Porter, Stoney Benfield, and Johnny, of course, working hard and making this race car go fast. And just appreciate all these guys in here running, and appreciate you all for broadcasting.
Hey, appreciate you running a great race, buddy. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
All right, Stella, awesome job here by our race. Do want to give a shout out there for Track Day 4 Veterans, brought to you by Fubar Studio. Definitely that car had a rough night here tonight. He'll be definitely changing that setup in the coming week as we head to Vegas next week. What an awesome job for those guys. We'll see how the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 goes at Las Vegas. Stella, anything left to add here at the end?
Rough and bumpy start, but very good racing after that. And I'm sorry some people got in a very icky little spot there at the end. Otherwise, it would have been one heck of a clean race.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of guys dealing with some other issues out there, but they'll be fighting, and hopefully we'll see them return back to the track as they are definitely well needed. If you guys think you can hang with these guys, you were looking for a Gen 4 league, and be able to do your own setups, not a fixed setup league. You can come out here and make the adjustment that you need to. This is the league for you. NSR, get a hold of Mark Sikosi. These guys are looking for more drivers. I want to start broadcasting these guys with somewhere around 35. I think that would be a fantastic number, and definitely a fine number that we can reach. Guys, go ahead, get in that rig, sign up for the NSR League, and we'll see you out here on the track. But until next time, SimTraX Broadcasting is signing off here with the NSR League. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.